here are some chalk pastel techniques. Now, chalk pastel is slightly different than chalk. Chalk is what you might use outside on the playground or on your sidewalks or on a white or a chalkboard. Chalk pastel has a little bit more pigment in it, so it's a lot more colorful. So I'm going to show you different ways of blending them and using the chalk pastel. So the first one I'm going to do is layered. So that's where you put one color down, and then you put a second color on top of it. The next technique is with a Q-tip, so I'm going to do them next to each other just so you can see it. So that's one color, two colors, and then I'm going to use a Q-tip and I'm going to blend them together. The next technique is with a tissue. So one color, two color, and then I'm going to take a point of a tissue with my finger inside of it and blend it. And then, of course, the last one is the finger technique. So one color, two color, and then use your finger. Now, I do have chalk dust laying on here, so you can kind of see it a little bit. You do not want to blow chalk dust. Blowing chalk dust is not good for the allergies. You're going to take it to a trash can and you're going to shake it off because you don't want to blow it. Also, chalk smears. So because it smears, you really don't want to blow that chalk elsewhere because it could go on your project. But if you do happen to get chalk where you don't want it, you can erase it a little bit. A little bit will come off, but be careful because that'll make your eraser get dirty. Alright, so the next technique I want to show you is feathering. Feathering is where you use long lines. So this is good if you wanted to do maybe fur or grass, and you could also do it with short lines. So they're just lots of little lines that overlap. And you could do it with multiple colors too. Cross hatching is where you make X's. So here's it with one color. Two colors. And I'll do this one. And it tricks your eye into blending it. Scumbling is where you kind of draw like little ovals and circles like this. So this is one color. And this is two colors. So again, this is just a way to blend it without actually blending it. Stippling is using lots of dots. So to make it look lighter, you have less dots. Now I find doing dots with chalk hard, so I like to do it as little dashes. To make it look darker, you would just have more dots or dashes. To make it look really dark, or a lot darker, you would have even more dots and dashes. The more you add, the darker it gets. And of course you can do it with two colors. And that will trick your eye into thinking that they are blended. Alright, and then you could also do the side stroke. So the side stroke is fun to do. That's where you take a piece of chalk, you lay it on its side. You could also do this with a crayon, same idea. And what you do is, to make it light, I'm just going to press lightly. And I get these little specks in here, but that's okay. It depends on what you're using it for. I'm going to press a little bit harder to make it look darker, and I'm going to press a lot harder, or I can go over more than once to kind of fill it in. But that's a good way to fill in a large area. So remember, don't blow chalk. You're going to pick it up, carry it to the trash can, and shake it off. And afterwards you will need to wash your tables and definitely wash your hands. You might need to wash your hands at different points during art class. Have fun with chalk pastel.